self-help, community service, seems like a lot of this is drawn out of family. This is your childhood, this is your circle of men, fellowship, church that inspired some of this for you?
Well, I don't like to speak about it, but I speak about it from time to time, depending on the situation. I grew up in an abused home where my mother was abused. I grew up in a drug-filled home where my mother and father were both on drugs and in the era of crack. I've had a situation where in life, just dealing with those situations and trying to be a transitional boy to a man, I've had to deal with, this, that, and the other that I wasn't coped or able to deal with because of not having those family figures there that were necessary. So the empowerment of the family unit runs deep in me, and I always said I would give my kids more than I ever had. And as I grow to look at these YouTube fights and these disturbing things that are on our social media, I came up with a situation that I need to give back in some form or fashion. And this self-help inspirational situation is about knowing your personal value. Like some of the other authors, they have characters, but you are the character in this. You have to know what your personal value is and what your worth is. And if you don't, you will continue to treat yourself bad, where if you know what your value is, you will put yourself in situations that benefit you versus delete and decrease from you. So More Than a Rib all starts out with you and 9 pillars. The first 3 or 4 9 pillars is self-assessment, self-accountability, forgiving. One thing that we definitely as a Afro-American culture have an issue dealing with is forgiving. And it starts with forgiving yourself first, and then forgiving whoever has wronged you. And then after that, it's about your self-renewal and how you can grow from the process of forgiving. So, More Than a Rib is definitely a journey. And once again, we deal with each individual at a time. So the first installment is about women. The second installment is about men. The third installment is about men, women, and children. And then we get into some communication issues between men and women and just men and their emotions. So, the movement, the journey, the book series is something very powerful to help empower, the structure of the family unit.
We're not judge and jury here today by any means, but just straight from the headlines. If you had an opportunity to meet someone like a Ray Rice, and you had an opportunity to give him your book, what would you suggest that he read in particular? Like go straight to page, whatever.
If it was the men's book, which I have structured in my mind, it would just be about, thinking to be proactive for your success. We often get caught up in temperament and the moment. And that's our downfall as Afro-Americans. We get caught up in temperament of the moment, behind closed doors, in public and everywhere else. And we have to start conditioning ourselves, reconditioning ourselves to be patient with ourselves and with others. And as we go through the journey of trying to be patient with ourselves and with others, we can become a more effective human being in regards to just being, forgiving, going back to that forgiving, and just being able to let certain things go. Something that would take you to 1 to 10, you can reach back, dial back, and relax, relate, release, and give it another chance before you do something that will put yourself in jeopardy or put someone else in jeopardy. So it's absolutely, this is what I would tell Ray Rice if I had a chance to give him the book and say, little brother, this is what's going on. This is what you need to think about in regards to where you at now, and then given a position of, success to where you were, how not to lose it again. And it really is gentrification of black. We didn't want to cut out anybody, but we looked at, and we're looking at servicing our community again. So we're looking at reconditioning the mindsets of children, youth, and black men the way they see themselves, and once again getting back into that value situation. It'll be more of a copy of the first installment, but we're going to cut down the pages, and we're going to make it interesting for a man or for somebody who's interested in changing, developing, and enhancing what they think they have to the next level. So it's about becoming a better man.
Before Larry and I say goodbye to our audience at home, we want to make sure that we introduce a very special lady who put all this together, who has created this show for your viewing pleasure. Miss Tanya Palmer, welcome. Give our audience at home some details. And until next time, look for us with Excerpt Live Edition 2.
Good night.
Be safe. God bless.